We do have some law students that listen to this. So I wonder what advice would you have for them? Because there are a lot of people that just they go to law school because they think that that's what they're supposed to do.
Hmm.
Do you have any advice for people like that are maybe before that point? They're not quite to the point where they're or maybe they are in law school,
Sure.
right? And they just don't have that experience. Do you have any advice to them on what they should maybe do?
Yeah, absolutely. So the first thing I would say is don't do it. No, I'm just kidding. But I would say, like, if you have any idea or a thought of something different that you would like to do, that you would like to explore, I would say explore everything, because in the legal field, like, it takes a lot out of you and you want to be able to enjoy what you do. So that's one. So that's also why I got as much experience as I did. Reach out to lawyers around you, reach out to your teachers to see if they have internship opportunities or know of other former students or the alumni program that would allow for that. So, like, my school allows for mentorship programs. So I have student mentors that I work with and that I offer, summer internships to going forward. And so
Sure.
because people did that for me, I want to be able to do that. If you're already in law school and you're not sure, they have externship opportunities where you can basically take a class, but instead of going to school, you're going to an internship and you're just logging those hours there.
Yeah.
So I would definitely recommend trying at least 3 different practice areas to intern with or to work with for summer positions, because your interests may change. You never know exactly what type of law you want to go into. I thought I would do international corporate law, but really family law was always my calling.
That's funny because I want to ask you about your if you had any misconceptions about being a lawyer, because I before I went to law school, I worked at State Farm Insurance as a fire claims rep, and I remember when I left, there was like we had a really good work environment,
Hmm.
and they had taken some Yellow Pages ads
Oh,
and taken and cut out a picture of me and stuck it on the Yellow Pages ads,
aw.
and they made a bunch of jokes about ambulance chasers and all that, and I going into law school, I was like, I will never be an injury lawyer. I'm an injury lawyer now, but
Yeah,
because I had all these misconceptions and misperceptions about what that actually meant.
yeah,
And then my first, I guess it was my second internship in law school. I loved it. I was like, wow. So you're actually, no, you're actually helping people. That's what you're
yep.
doing. You're fighting against these big insurance companies. It completely shattered what I thought about when it comes to that. And so was there anything, and I'm specifically talking about that first job as a legal assistant.
Mhm.
Did that help kill any misperceptions that maybe that you had about being a lawyer?
I'm trying to think because I think it's just scarier than you would think. And you would think that, okay, by the time I become a lawyer, like, we've got this in the bag. Everybody's extremely confident, right? Everybody knows exactly what they're doing. But then you realize, no, actually, everyone is still trying to figure it out. And at the end of the day, being a lawyer is tough because if you're before a jury or before the judge, then they still get the final decision if you
Right.
can't make it, come to an agreement prior to that. So I think that, like, the law being the law and being the end all be all is not really, what you would think it is as a lawyer. But kind of going back to my first legal assistant job, and in that firm, it was a general law firm, but we did still take on a lot more personal injury, estate planning, and family law cases. And I think that, like, the common misconception that I had at first was just that it was just like money hungry situation, right? Like, all lawyers just want money and they're just going to charge up and everything's going to be crazy. But, like, there are actual lawyers who really truly care and, like, will do everything they can to make sure that their clients can afford their services.
Yeah. No, I've met way more very good people that are lawyers than the opposite.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where we're sort of our a victim of ourselves where we have sort of let it happen, I think, to a certain extent,
Yeah.
where but the vast majority of lawyers are just fantastic lawyers. But I'm not the type, though, that I'm okay with a good lawyer joke. I don't know about you.
Oh, no, I love it.
Yeah,
Give it to me,
yeah,
like, that's perfectly fine. I think it's important to be able to laugh at yourself and to find joy in this job where you can. So yeah.
yeah. I was at a CLE one time, and it was so funny. There was a guy that was up at the front. It was like a bar. It was like a Missouri Bar Association kind of an event, and he was up there like for like 5-10 minutes ranting about how we shouldn't be laughing at lawyer jokes. I was like,
What?
wow, dude.
Can't take yourself too
Oh
seriously.
no,
Mm-mm.
no, not at all.